GPT-5 came out recently, and everyone loved it. Except like a lot of the users. I don't know. But that got me thinking, have the GPTs actually gotten better? And that's hard to tell if you're looking at like poetry or just having a conversation. Coding a website, I mean, that's not easy. That's something we could probably tell. Does the website look nice? Does it even work? So I figured I could ask every single GPT model ever since GPT-1 to code me a website, and we could see, have they actually gotten better? We'll start with GPT-1. This was released in June 2018. Now, GPT-1, it wasn't like modern models. You didn't chat with it and say like, hey, what's up? It was a completion model. So you'd start a sentence like, hi, my name is, and then it would complete the sentence. It would say, David, and it's nice to meet you. How are you today? Something like that. Now, GPT-1 wasn't very good, and so it says, hello, my name is, comma, he said. I'm sorry, she said, I don't know your name. I'm Michael. I'm sorry, she repeated. I didn't mean to be rude. And then you can see it just evolves into number counting. So it was definitely rough, but this was the best we had at the time. But what this means is if I want a website, I have to put something like, here's the code for a Twitter-like social media website, and then I put the opening tag of HTML. That's how it would create the website. And I have it generate the completion of what this website code should look like. So let's see. And this is what it says. Here's the code for a Twitter-like social media website, body. And then Facebook, facebook.com, chapter 1. I'm not going to let you do this, I said. I know. So it basically just gave me nonsense. This is not a working website. So GPT-1 was unable to make any website at all. Now we tried GPT-2, and this one was released around a year later in 2019 and was also 10 times bigger. We all know bigger, always better. That actually is true with large language models. That's the large part. So again, we used the same prompt, and it seems to have actually given us some code this time. So I'm just going to paste the HTML in here that it generated. And there we go. We got Twitter and a tweet button. That's something. Now, it also included some JavaScript, which should make the page functional. So we'll copy that, paste it in the JavaScript section. And now we go, but we see there's actually an error here. So this actually doesn't work. So when we click tweet, nothing will happen. But theoretically, this is kind of something. I mean, we have a website. So GPT-2, this is about as good as it gets, which is better than GPT-1. In 2020, we got GPT-3, which was not 10 times bigger than GPT-2, but over 100 times bigger. And this was the first time I think there was a lot of hype around a GPT model. Not like, ChatGPT, obviously, but there were people talking about it. I remember hearing it, and I didn't follow AI very closely. But also, this was the first time they were like, we're called OpenAI, but maybe the open was the friends we made along the way. Because they did not release this model to the public. They decided they were going to keep it to themselves. So I put together this little website where I could prompt it. Okay, it is definitely giving us something. It's funny because it gives us this, and then it gives us just like people chatting, I guess, about this code. I love the design. It's really clean and simple. Thanks for sharing. There is code, so let's see what it does. Wow, start your blog now. That doesn't feel very Twitter-like. We'll give you one more chance. Instead of HTML, we'll just say code. Oh, wow. GPT-3 is giving us a lot more this time. Okay, so there's something here. Okay, this is more. Look, there's a username and password. Okay, now let's get some styling for this. So I'm just going to paste this in here, say, and here's the CSS, and let it complete that and see if it can get some styling for this bad boy. All right, it seems like it actually does have some. I don't know why it says Scott. That's my name. It's kind of freaking me out, but what are you going to do? Will this actually affect it? Oh, look. Okay, this is our beautiful, beautiful Twitter-like social media website, GPT-3. I mean, it's got a login. It's got a tweet, a reply button. I don't know what's going on with the footer, but it's way better than GPT-2 was. As a reminder, here's our GPT-2 website. Here's our GPT-3. The next one, though, is a big one. The next one is GPT 3.5. So 3.5 is actually when they released ChatGPT. So they also have a completion model of this and a chat one. So let's try the completion one with the same prompt for GPT 3.5. And look at this. That is already looking so much cleaner as just a code output. There's no random other stuff. So I'll open up a new one here and paste this in. There it is. I mean, there's a lot more content here. Let's see if we can get it to style it. So again, I'll take this, paste it in here, and then say, and here is the CSS to get it to complete the CSS for me to style this And boom, it just does it. Let's see if it actually works though. Wow. I mean, yeah, this is looking so much better. And now finally, here's the JavaScript. We'll see if we can actually get this to make a functional website where we can actually click things and do stuff. All right, moment of truth. Hello. It works. It created a working tweet. Okay, so this is GPT 3.5. This is the initial ChatGPT. This is what we're looking at. So we're finally getting into like real working website territory. And I think this is why ChatGPT was such a big deal. But how much better is 4 and 5? Because according to Sam Altman, GPT-5 should blow this out of the water. Now, just for fun, we can also play with the chat version. So this is the initial ChatGPT. The other one was completion, but this is actually the first ChatGPTs. So I can say, give me the code for a Twitter-like social media, and it should actually respond. All right, it has something for me. It just really wants to include the styles for some reason. So we're just gonna have to live with that. I think it might give a better response if it waited to do the styles, and there it is. And I mean, this is something. Now give me the JavaScript. And it gave me some JavaScript. I can comment. So it does work. So this is something. But interestingly, the actual chat version of ChatGPT is probably worse than the completion version that we looked at. So this is the initial chat version of ChatGPT and what it would give you for a Twitter-like social media. Now let's jump up to GPT-4. This, people said, was a huge leap over GPT 3.5, the initial ChatGPT. So the results we get from this should be way better than anything that GPT 3.5 gave us. So I'm going to say, write the HTML code for a Twitter-like social media. And again, even GPT-4 is saying, look, creating this is too hard, but I'll give you something. So we'll paste that in there, see what we've got. Okay, we got something here. Create the associated CSS. And we got that. Okay, this is not bad. I need to ask it to create the accompanying JavaScript. So we paste that in there. And now we can tweet. So here's our feed, pretty basic, but when we compare it to the initial version of ChatGPT, it is quite the improvement. Now maybe I could push it a little bit and say, make the HTML more complex, but it doesn't actually add that much really. Like if I put this in here, it's gonna be a little weird because the CSS isn't totally accompanied, but yeah. Then I ask it for the new CSS. We paste that in and it kind of messes it up. So you can see it had a hard time keeping track of everything it was doing in its head. So already just asking for a few changes, it's broken everything. It was pretty good, but you're gonna have a hard time actually making a website with this. But a year later, they came out with GPT 4.0, which is kind of like the sequel to GPT-4. What's interesting about this model is people still swear by it today. People are mad that they got rid of GPT 4.0 for GPT-5. Some people would argue this is the best model, period, that we have. Now, granted, a lot of those people are people who are talking to it for relationships or for advice, not necessarily coding, but still, let's see how it does. Okay, wow, structurally, this is definitely the best it's looked. I mean, this was kind of nice, but this just feels like it's filling out the space more appropriately. So I'll ask it to write the JavaScript and we will see how functional this is. And it gives me some really simple little code here that I assume will go, hello, what's up? Now what's interesting is this works pretty well, right? But they didn't even try to have like usernames and stuff like this did. All our previous versions did. This is just like making something super simple, right? So there's just one more test for this because this is supposed to be the best model we can do. And I'm gonna say for a full featured Twitter-like social media, at least it does have user this time. So it's not giving me like a mini Twitter like it was before, but it's still very simple. So what should happen is I should be able to go hello and the tweet button still doesn't work. So that actually didn't work. So this is actually just worse than GPT 3.5 was, although this version did work, but it didn't have usernames. So 4.0 for coding at least wasn't that much better. So now there are 2 holy grail tests we have left to do. You might think, okay, let's go to GPT-5, but there actually was a model that is in between the two that should be a really big improvement, and that is GPT-03. You may have seen this model in your ChatGPT as an option in the past. And basically, it's the smarter thinking model. So it takes longer to respond, but it is better. And we are going to give it the same prompt. Write the HTML code for a full-featured Twitter-like social media. And we're already generating a lot more stuff here. From the thinking, I mean, it is just going ham. Wow, it has like a whole theme thing going on here. And it included the JavaScript. That's really interesting. Let's see if we paste this in. Yeah, this is really giving us a lot more here. Just shows how big a jump 03 really was. Oh, it even pulled, I assume these are just pictures from the internet. Yeah, randomuser.me. That must be a service that gives you random profile pictures. And then let's add the styling, which we don't even have to ask for because it is already there. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm alive. Anyone else hungry? Wow, and you can see it looks way more like Twitter. I mean, again, this was 4.0 and this was the other 4.0. And this was 4 and this was 3.5. And this is 0.3. That's pretty crazy. And so it even has people to follow, all this stuff. Now, you know, it is kind of limited. Oh, it has a modal here. So we can see that. You actually can't close the modal. So there are issues. So I actually might have to refresh this or just tweet to actually get rid of this. This clearly is the best. So the question is, 0.3 clearly blows everything out of the water. Will GPT-5, which just came out, be able to match it? Finally, we have GPT-5, released in August 2025. And so we're going to see how GPT-5 does. Moment of truth. Oh my gosh, it's finally done. It took over 5 minutes and it really just felt so much longer than all the others. That, I might have to fix that. I think I did something wrong. What the heck? All the SVGs are not displaying properly. So I will just tell it that. Fortunately, it can take images and hopefully it can fix its mistake. That's really weird. All right, so it's giving me adjustments to fix it, which is kind of annoying because now I got to go read it. I did find it here, so I'll just replace it real quick. And that looks a lot better. It is weird. There's like a bug there, right? Wow, but the crazy thing is all of these tabs work. There's clearly some weird things going on, but it really tried to make the whole thing functional. With likes, it even made up some SVGs here. See, I could have told it to use like a pre-existing icon pack or something, added to bookmarks. That's crazy. And it actually worked. Wow. I mean, this is the crazy thing. It was so ambitious compared to the other ones. The other ones were like, you know, making something like this, that's pretty hard. And this one was like, we're making the whole thing. We may make it with 2 profile pictures in the tweet bar, and we may just hallucinate some weird SVGs, but we're going to make every single page. So that's pretty insane. So this is it. Again, this was 0.3. Aesthetically, I think it's probably better, to be honest with you, than this one, which is kind of interesting. But functionally, I mean, this was so much more ambitious. Obviously, none of these pages or functionality works. There's no likes or anything. And then these were our previous ones. So GPT-5 certainly has its quirks, has its issues, but kind of crazy the amount of things it can do. Now, what I didn't do here, this is all front end. So I didn't actually add a database. So this would actually be real, or add signing in and user accounts. But these are the kind of things that it can do as well. That was a lot harder in old versions. So at least for coding, we're definitely seeing progress. People think, oh, maybe we're hitting a wall and these things aren't getting better. And clearly there are some hiccups, right? Like you might say, oh, this looks nicer and stuff. But the things that you can do in just one prompt, I asked this thing one prompt. So that is trying every single model from GPT-1 to GPT-5. Tell me which one you think did the best. Tell me if you think it's going to get better from here, what that would even look like, or what you think. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.